Live TV can be very unpredictable. During some live broadcasts, catastrophic disasters have happened, or a creepy message will appear on the screen from, some hacker, because that's what they do. Well, either way, it's not comforting to see these scary things on your screen. Well, how's it going, you guys? I'm your host for this one, Landon Do Not Sing, and welcome back to another Most Amazing Top 10 video. Before we get started, I want to know, what is the scariest thing that you've seen on TV? Let me know in the section below. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, head over there at Interruptions. We're close to 100,000 followers, and we're going to be doing a huge giveaway very soon. Alright, let's get right into this list. This is the top 10 scary live TV interruptions. Starting us off like we always do with number 10, we have a zombie apocalypse. People who were tuned into the Steve Wilkos show were shocked when a zombie apocalypse warning appeared across their screens. Imagine seeing this.
Civil authorities in your area have reported that the bodies of the dead are rising from their graves and attacking the living. Follow the messages on screen that will be updated as information becomes available. Do not attempt to approach or apprehend these bodies as they are considered extremely dangerous.
Okay, damn, that's probably the scariest thing that has ever happened during the Steve Wilkos show. And I'm pretty gullible, so I probably would have fallen for this hoax. And I have to give these hackers credit because this broadcast interruption is pretty legit. I wonder how many grandmas called into the network complaining about the zombie apocalypse or ruining their daytime television show. Investigators still don't know who hacked the systems or how they even did it. Max Headroom, a live broadcast interruption, takes us to number 9. Back in 1987, several Chicago television stations were hijacked by a masked man whose identity is still unknown today. He was dressed in a rubber mask and wearing sunglasses. His speech is pretty hard to make out, but the images are pretty terrifying. Let's take a look. The studio engineers thought that this hijack was an inside job, but the clip was actually pre-recorded from a separate location. And just 2 hours after the third broadcast interruption, the Max Headroom impersonator was back on another channel. Rumors about the identity of the person who was responsible for this hack floated around the internet, but most of them weren't investigated. It seems like whoever did it got away with one of the biggest and most mysterious hacks of all time. The Challenger explosion brings us to number 8. When the NASA Challenger shuttle exploded on January 28th in 1986, it killed 7 crew members, and this whole incident happened live on CNN.
The space shuttle mission is now on the way after more delays than NASA cares to count. This morning, it looked as though they were not going to be able to get off.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles.
Just 73 seconds after liftoff, the shuttle exploded, and after a lengthy investigation, it was revealed that 2 rubber O-rings have failed due to cold temperatures, and they were pretty important to the takeoff. This tragic event was highly covered on the news, so NASA had to temporarily suspend all shuttle missions. It was one of the worst space disasters in history, and even 33 years later, this video is still really hard to watch. Next up, number 7, we have a man who set himself on fire. In 1988, Daniel V. Jones was an HIV positive maintenance worker from LA. He decided to park his truck in the middle of the highway and laid out a banner that said this. Well, you guys are looking at it, and it says, well, they're in it for the money. Live free, love safe, or die. That's when the SWAT team thought it would be a good idea to intervene, and that's also when the news helicopters showed up. SWAT team negotiators were about to try to persuade him to give up when a violent and graphic series of events unfolded. He had made several flammable bottles, and he decided to light them up. His truck burst into flames, and he was engulfed in the fire. He committed suicide on live TV, and people all over the world couldn't believe their eyes. Creepy message from Vernon brings us to number 6. Back in 1977, a TV station was interrupted for a total of 6 minutes from someone who claims to be a representative from an intergalactic association. What does that even mean? I have no idea what I said. I'm reading my script right now. Well, the station was airing their regular evening news when all of a sudden the newscaster's voice started to become distorted and a buzzing, scary voice began to speak.
This is the voice of Allah, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the silence. We speak to you now to say the same as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth.
After this creepy message was broadcasted, thousands of people began to panic. A lot of people thought that aliens were communicating through the television. As of right now, the message is considered to be a hoax. But what if it wasn't? What if aliens were actually behind this message? A WWF Tragic Incident breaks onto this list at number 5. On May 23, 1999, at the WWE Over the Edge event, an unfortunate equipment malfunction caused Owen Hart to fall 78 feet from the rafters in an arena in Kansas City. He was taken to a nearby hospital and the WWF event carried on after this whole incident went down. That just seems morally wrong, don't you think? Well, Jim Ross had to announce Owen Hart's death within seconds of realizing that he actually died. A memorial show for Owen Hart was aired on the following Monday Night Raw, but I still think that they should have stopped the event after we lost Owen Hart. I mean, at what point is the money just not worth it anymore? A scary suicide attempt comes onto this list at number 4. Christine Chubbuck was a 29-year-old reporter, and she was a reporter for a Florida television station. One day she made the decision to put a gun to her head and pull the trigger while she was reporting live. Before she committed suicide, she said, in keeping with the Channel 40's policy of bringing you the latest blood and guts and in living color, you are going to see another first, attempted suicide. Obviously, I'm not going to play that clip because it's extremely hard to watch. Not that I have to explain. I think she committed suicide because all of the negative and gory news stories, it just really got to her. It's such a tragic and sad thing that happened to her, and that no one was able to see any of the warning signs. The CIA and aliens creep onto this list at number 3. During a live broadcast on KNBC TV, a man pointed what appeared to be a handgun at a reporter, and he demanded that he reads a statement about the CIA and space aliens.
KNBC's evening newscast, just as consumer reporter David Horowitz was being introduced.
Pardon me? What is this? Let me see what it says. All right.
He's got a gun to his back.
All right, well, let me read this. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read this copy which was just handed to me. You want to tell me your name or not?
Is this real life right now? How the heck did all of these news reporters stay so calm? I'd either faint from pure fear or I'd run out of there so damn fast. Usain Bolt has got nothing on me at this moment. Luckily, the gun turned out to be a plastic toy and no one was injured, but the program went off air before the statement could be read. So that guy's plan was poorly executed because his message about the CIA and aliens never was broadcasted. But basically, he wanted to have the CIA release secret Air Force files about UFOs and how they are hiding important information about aliens living on Earth. I don't know how this guy was able to stroll on set like that. How does something like this even happen? And now at number 2, we have a journalist and a cameraman killed live on air. Like I said before, live TV can be dangerous, unpredictable, and sometimes catastrophic. This is especially true with this next story. 2 local TV reporters were shot dead during a live broadcast in Virginia when they were murdered by an angry coworker. Apparently, the coworker carefully planned this execution so that it would air on live TV. The reporter and cameraman was shocked when they heard the gunshots and screams, and they had no idea that their lives were about to end.
It started out as a routine live shot on a morning show just hours ago.
We're seeing tourism.
Then shots rang out.
I'm not gonna play the entire clip because it's pretty horrific and heartbreaking. So after a 5-hour manhunt, the gunman shot himself during a car chase and he later died at the hospital. And now at number 1, we have a tragic assassination. Traveling back to October 1960, during a televised political debate, a Japanese politician was assassinated with a samurai sword by a 17 15-year-old. Is this real life right now? The young assassin rushed to the stage and stabbed him between the ribs and his left side, which instantly killed him. Here's the aftermath of the terrible incident, and there's nothing graphic. I think this entire list has taught us that we need better security during live broadcasting events. Well, there you guys have it. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for always tuning in to Most Amazing Top 10 videos. If you guys stayed to the end of this video, show your support, put a hashtag at the end. I want to see all of you guys just overflowing the comment section down there. I want to see how many of you guys make it to the end of the video. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys all in the next Most Amazing Top 10 video.